you believe you're in a matrix though? Like actually believe?
There's some probability that we're in a simulation. If that trend continues, video games will be indistinguishable from reality. I do also have a theory which is like the most interesting outcome is the most likely outcome.
If you were to be a character from the Matrix, who would you be?
Well, there's not that many characters to pick from, you know. Hopefully not Agent Smith. He's my hero. I mean, Neo's pretty cool. The architect is interesting.
The Oracle.
It's the Oracle. And sometimes I feel like I'm an anomaly in the Matrix.
That is Neo. Do you believe you're in a Matrix though? Like actually believe?
I think
Yeah, he believes
think
we're
of
in a
these things as
simulation.
probabilities, not certainties. There's some probability that we're in a simulation.
What percentage would you attribute to that?
99.99999.
Probably pretty high. I would say it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one way to think of this is to say, if you look at the advancement of video games, in our lifetime, or at least in my lifetime, it's gone from very simple video games where you've got like Pong, you've got two rectangles and a square, just batting it back and forth, to photorealistic, real-time games with millions of people playing simultaneously. And that's happened just in the span of 50 years.
He's talked about this on so many podcasts.
If that trend continues, video games will be indistinguishable from reality. We're also going to have very intelligent characters, like non-player characters in these video games. Think of how sophisticated the conversations are you can have with an AI today, and that's only going to get more sophisticated. You'll be able to have conversations that are more complex and more sophisticated than almost any human conversation. So in the future, if civilization continues, will be millions, maybe billions of photorealistic, like indistinguishable from reality video games, with characters in those video games that are very deep and where the dialogue is not
Guys, drop in the
pre-programmed.
chat if you think that we're in a simulation.
That's for sure what's going to happen in this level of the simulation, if you could call it. So then what are the odds that we're in base reality and that this has not happened before?
If I were to buy into that and assume that we are in a simulation, as Neo of the story, what do you know that I don't and I can learn from?
Most likely, outside the simulation would be less interesting than in the simulation, because we're most likely a distillation of what's interesting. That's what we do in our reality. And then I do also have a theory, which is like the most interesting outcome is the most likely outcome, as seen by a third party, the gods or god of the simulation. When humans do simulations, we stop those simulations that are not interesting. So like if SpaceX is doing simulations of rocket flights, you know, the boring ones we discard because they're just not, we don't learn anything from those. Or when Tesla is doing simulations for self-driving, Tesla's actually looking for the most interesting corner cases because the normal stuff, we already have plenty of data on, you know, driving on a straight road on a sunny day. We don't need more of that. We need like heavy weather conditions on a small windy road with two cars that are, you know, coming at each other with a almost head-on collision. We need like weird stuff, basically, interesting stuff. So I think that from a Darwinian perspective, the simulations most likely to survive are going to be the ones that are the most interesting simulations, which therefore means that the most interesting outcome is the most likely.
That
And
is
the people
fascinating
who
theory.
simulated our world, if one were to extrapolate, they themselves might in turn be in another simulation.
Yes.
And there could be many layers of simulation.
Yes.
Beyond all of these layers of simulation, do you think there's something? I read somewhere that you used to ascribe to Spinoza's God in a way.
One of the things Spinoza was saying is that you can have morals in the absolute. You don't need to have morals to be handed to you. It's like the question is, can morality exist outside of a religious context? And Spinoza was arguing that it can.
Talk show.